Today's guest grew up surrounded by fitness, literally. With bodybuilder parents, she was immersed in health and training from an early age. But her journey has been about so much more than just physical strength. It's about unlearning perfection, finding balance, and evolving as a woman through her 20s and 30s. We talk about how her upbringing shaped her relationship with food and body image, the mindset shifts that came with growing older, and how to rediscover your spark when life feels heavy. I'm so excited to introduce you to Savannah Wright. Welcome, Savannah. What was it like growing up in a fitness-focused household? Because we know your parents are bodybuilders.
Yes, they are. Well, they were bodybuilders. I don't know, growing up with them as bodybuilders, they were very conscious of health, but I just thought it was normal. So like my mom never forced me to finish my food. Like a lot of people, think, oh, I have to finish the whole plate. And she was nervous that an eating disorder would stem from it. So she just, if I was full, she'd put it in the fridge. And then if I wanted a snack, it was always healthy. So like clearly I wasn't hungry enough if I didn't want an apple, or like I liked frozen peas. That's something I would eat. But it was like little things that I noticed growing up in a household that's a little different now that I'm older and I'm realizing people are like, oh, hey, I feel like I overeat because I was forced to finish everything on my plate. Or maybe, they had fast food like every single day because their parents were busy, and I totally understand it. But my mom was very big into like, no, we're going to have meals at home she had a garden. My dad would fish. Like I didn't realize how privileged I was to have parents that didn't enjoy fast food. They were like, no, I'm going to have home cooked food, So it was little things like that were a little different.
Mm-hmm. I like that. That's privilege.
It really was.
Really, really nice.
I know. And even, like growing up, my dad and my mom always exercised at a gym. I truly thought all adults just went and lifted weights at a gym. Like before or after work, I just thought it was normal. I thought that was, how like kids go to school? I thought adults go to work and they go to the gym. And that's like what I was taught. And then when I was 16, my mom got me a membership when I was legally allowed to. And then she taught me how to lift weights. And she was like, never once was there like talk of being bulky. She never once talked about her body appearance. I've never heard my mom talk poorly about her body. And like she just normalized like this is what we do to stay strong. And I just grew up when I was a little girl, her like doing jazzercise because she would stay at home like during the day and then my mom would work nights. Like she did it all. And so she still had to fit in working out. And so I'd be like this little kid and she'd be jazzercising it up on a VHS. I know.
That is so cool.
I know.
When did you realize that your upbringing wasn't normal?
I posted it on social media. And I always like flexed that my parents were bodybuilders because I have these pictures of them. And I'm like, you guys look so great. And my mom would always tell me the mustard story. Because when I first got into fitness, she was like, do you want to be a bodybuilder? And I was like, no, honestly, hearing you talk about it sounds awful to me. So I don't want to go that route. And she was, I think, relieved that I didn't want to. But once I just started posting like, this is what I learned. I wonder what you guys think. And I think I did it first on TikTok. And I just sat in a car and I talked about it and people were like amazed. And I was like, oh, this is a fun series. Like a good way to honor my parents. And like my dad works at a gym right now. And he said this personal trainer came up to him and was like, is your daughter Savannah Wright? And he was like, yeah, why? And he's like, oh, I saw your bodybuilding pictures on YouTube. Like the YouTube shorts came up. And he was just so proud.
Wait, that's
my dad's like, I was, a lot younger back then. I'm like, Dad, you work at a gym still. Like, come on, give yourself credit. You're still active. He always goes to the gym with me. Like, yeah. And I mean, my mom, she's like a fox at 64.
Literally.
Yeah. I love her abs.
I love her.
I know.
I mean, your parents are epic.
I know.
I love them.
Yeah.
They're the cutest.
They are the cutest.
I want to hug them. What's some things, maybe 6 things you thought were normal because your parents were bodybuilders?
Oh, specifically 6 things.
6 things.
Okay. Well, one was not being forced to finish my food. So like, I thought that was just normal, was like, when you're done. But I heard as I got older that people would have food battles with their parents, especially if you like hated broccoli or like Brussels sprouts. My mom was like, if you hate them, you hate them. At least you tried them, right? The question was, what was normal?
6 things that you thought were normal because your parents were bodybuilders.
Okay. Next one, like I said, I just thought adults went to the gym. My dad always did like volleyball or he would run. We would go to Spokane, Washington. We'd drive so he could run in Bloomsday, which is like, it's like I don't think it's a half marathon, maybe like a 5K, 10K. So I just thought like you picked up hobbies. That's like what you did in your free time. My parents watched TV, but not at night. And so we just were an active family. I thought everybody did sports. Like, we didn't have a lot of money for club sports, but we would do the rec sports, and they just wanted to show us how to be competitive and like take care of our bodies. I'm trying to think what else they taught me. Eating healthy, like whole foods. I don't eat a lot of fast food because of that. It hurts my stomach now, and I just didn't grow up. I thought it was like a treat. My grandparents would come on Sundays and take us to McDonald's, and we get an ice cream cone. And that was like the treat of fast food for years. Plus, it was expensive to eat out, so my parents cooked a lot at home. I'm trying to think of the sixth one. I feel like I talk a lot about it, so I'm like, what else? I'm stumped on the sixth one. I mean, they're older now, and like they are still active. I thought all parents were active. And then I met a lot of like my friends' parents and realized they weren't. And that a lot of the times it was just because they were gym rats. I just thought everybody did it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And ironically, that's my job now.
Look at that.
I know.
Maybe it's in the DNA.
I know.
What are 5 things your parents taught you to never do when it comes to fitness, dieting, or body image?
Ooh, okay. My mom says never to go off the scale for success. Always go off how your jeans fit. And when I was like a teenager, I was annoyed at that because she didn't want me to tie my worth into weight, because as you get older, your weight will always change, right? I'm not going to stay the same I was as 20. So still to this day, she's like, well, are your jeans fitting looser? That's all that matters. What else did she do to never do? Yeah. So don't weigh yourself. Obviously, like, don't eat like fast food daily. That was a huge thing. Like even rest days, like we're always active. So they weren't like ever promoting to just be a couch potato all day. They're like, go for a walk. And they like to be couch potatoes, but they are still very active. Pickleball, just like get movement in. I'm trying to think what else would be like a never to do that they had told me. Eat your protein. Like my mom's always told me that was, you know, never skip your protein maybe. Those are 4 things I can think of.
That's good enough for me.
Okay.
I mean, those are very valuable, especially the scale one.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of like young women like really put or tie their value to how little they weigh.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that's very important.
Well, like I train clients and they will get so discouraged when the weight changes, especially say they went drinking for the weekend or they ate something that had like high sodium and they're like, oh my gosh, I gained my 5 pounds back. And I'm like, it's water weight. So it will never equal what you're expecting. Also, if you want to put on muscle and lose fat, right, that toned physique people want, the scale doesn't matter for that. And like that's majority of the time people see a fitness influencer and they have the abs, right? And they have the beautiful lats in the back. That doesn't matter if you are smaller on the scale. Like you could weigh, you know, 130 pounds, but be that like term skinny fat, or you could weigh 130 pounds and have more muscle mass and you'd look totally different. Don't you think?
I agree with you. 100%. And then how did that impact of like growing up in a household that really believes in fitness shape how you see food, body image, and health today?
Well, I think like as a normal teenager, I went through what a lot of us girls go through because I had gained a lot of weight. I was like 10 and I hadn't hit puberty. So from like 10 to 13, I was like more overweight to where people would make comments about it. And so I was always really self-conscious and like aware of that. And then as I got older, my mom would try and help me like, you know, we go to the gym and these are hormones. And she was just very open about that. And it was literally because I was 10 and I was going through a lot in my life and the hormones also weren't helping. And so I just gained a ton of weight. And then once I became like a woman at like 13, it turned into curves, right? So I just feel like it shaped me as I got older and I saw how my parents loved fitness. I was like, what a cool thing to do in a career. I always had been so interested in the gym and I would, in college, I was like the only one in my sorority that would go to the gym every day. Like no, everybody would always say they go, but they'd fall off. But I'd be like in my snow boots, tracking along after, you know, going to school and work. Like I just always was really passionate. And I remember thinking, wow, if I had this as a career, I would love to. This is something I just am excited about. But I never thought you could because my parents didn't make it a career. So yeah, I think it just molded me slowly because I was just raised with healthy minded people that encouraged me to pursue it and be a trainer. Yeah.
And are there anything that you specifically had to unlearn as a woman about dieting, appearance, or fitness? Maybe that you had to learn through like school, social media, some external influences?
Yeah. I mean, when I first got into my fitness journey, I had moved to California and I was like, well, like my husband was an entrepreneur, so he was busy. And I was working a sales job that was 9 to 5. And I'm like, well, I need a hobby. And so I picked up going to the gym because I was like, I always like to go to the gym, but I just didn't know how to change my body. And so during that time, I was like, I'm going to lock in. I'm going to learn for 6 months because I was somebody that would always quit things. I would be that like toxic person that'd be like, I'm going to go on a diet. And then I would be so unrealistic with that diet in college. And then I would quit once I had a French fry for a month, and then I'd feel bad again. And I'd start this like yo-yo. So I was like, you know what? I'm an adult. I can try this. I have nothing else going on. I don't know anybody in California but my husband. He's always working. So I just started learning like how to change my body. And during that time, I had to unlearn, you know, eating small to stay small. Girls are always scared of carbs. I was so scared of carbs. I was like scared of protein. I would see like a protein shake and be like, oh my God, I'm going to get so bulky. Like I had to unlearn that because no, my parents didn't teach me that. My mom didn't know what a protein shake was. Like back then, they didn't really have protein shakes. Like my dad ate raw eggs in a blender, you know? So I think I had to learn a lot of it on my own, but I knew I was interested in fitness. And it's the cliche things that we see online. That's like the diets, the dieting, the yo-yos, being scared to lift heavy, thinking I'd get bulky. But the irony was once I lifted heavy, I got the body I wanted. So it's funny how it plays into that.
That is funny.
You lift small, you like, you know, you play small, you stay small.
Period. I like that. I like that. And then how do you feel fitness has changed from when you were in your 20s versus your 30s?
For fitness, okay, ironically, I feel like I look better in my 30s because my 20s, I had started working out and loving my fitness journey. And when I first started, I got really lean. I was like a lean string bean. And I was like, I kind of want to look like these fitness influencers I see. So that's when I started doing more research, right? And like learning what a bulk was, learning what a cut was, what a body recomp was. And so I like kind of went through all of those phases in my 20s. And then my 30s, I went through health issues and I like mentally with my mental health. And I was like, now that I feel good, I'm going to lock in and like take care of my body, not ignore it. Now I can like actually go to the gym without freaking out. And like the past 90 days, I've been doing that. And I feel the most balanced in my 30s because I don't have the outside noise. I know what works. Like I'm not confused anymore like I was when I was young. I just have to follow the equation. That's literally what it is. And be consistent and not expect being perfect. And I think I look better now in my 30s.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of young women like think that, oh, your 20s are it's your prime. But I feel like your 30s are like when you actually like start to thrive, like start to thrive, you know? Like there's so many other like beautiful like women in their 30s, like Jessica Bickling, Kelly Matthews, I think that's her name. You yourself, like just like you guys make me excited to be in my 30s because of how beautiful you guys are and like how your physique is 10 times like better, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's just like people, I feel like young women need to like stop fearing aging.
I agree.
You know?
And it's easier said than done because even I fear aging, right?
Yeah.
So when I turned 30, I was like, whoa, that's big. Because the next, 30 is like, woo, let's celebrate 30. And then you're like, oh, the next one's 40. That's a big decade. And then if you think about it, for a lot of women in our 30s is like usually maybe when we get married, maybe when we decide to have children, right? Like for me, that's something I want is to have children. I got married in my 20s, but I know I'm going to be going into wanting to have kids in my 30s. Biologically, I have a date that I was thinking of, right? And why would I not be like the strongest and physically looking the best when I go into pregnancy? So I don't start off rough, right? Like some people are like, oh, that's fine. I'm going to be pregnant. I'm like, no, you're going to like go into battle with your body. Like giving birth is the hardest thing your body will ever go through as a woman. Why would you not train for it so you have the safest, healthiest pregnancy and the best bounce back? And people think that like, oh, because you're 30, your metabolism slows down. No, you can manipulate that. Like that's not true. And we're not old when we're 30. We're not old when we're 40. We're not old when we're 50. And we're not old when we're 60. I mean, my mom, 64, and she looks amazing, right?
100%. Oh, that makes me so excited. You're gonna be a mom.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. I mean, we got a while.
Can you be my mom?
I'm like, so I'm announcing my pregnancy. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, what feels easier now and what feels harder?
Ooh, okay. Easier now is being consistent because I know it works. And like, it's just smoke and mirrors if I'm trying to do the being perfect and then falling off, right? That's never going to work. So I just might as well be consistent and put in 80% of the work and not 100% and not being consistent. What else? What was the question?
So what feels easier now?
Easier now.
And what feels harder?
Okay, yeah. The consistency for sure. What else feels harder? I feel like my diet is easier now because I know what makes me feel good and what doesn't. And like now in my 30s, I don't drink as much. I just like don't have as much, like I know how it's going to make me feel. So why would I do it in a sense? Like I know how to take care of myself better. And I think that's easier now. And like I track my macros at the moment because it's really helpful. And like I don't have any emotional tie to it like I did in my 20s with my worth. If I like went over my macros, I'd be like, oh, I failed, you know? Now I'm like, that's okay. Like it's not perfect, but at least we're consistent 5 days of the week, right? 6 days of the week. And like for me, it's like a science equation and I can like look at it as a third person. I think that's easier. And like just taking care of my health is easier. I like now that I'm older, I like do the research and I have like a naturopathic doctor that will help me with my hormones. I get my blood work done. Like in my 20s, you couldn't even get me to go to a physical. Like now I'm on my shit. I'm like, yes, I will go to the gynecologist, optometrist, see my naturopath, see my acupuncturist. Like I'm really trying to take care of my body.
I like that.
Yeah.
What is the biggest mindset change that you've had in your 20s versus your 30s?
Oh, mindset change. I think like accepting who I am and like that's cliche and everybody says that. But in your 20s, I mean, think about it. You go to school, usually you're coming out of your school. Maybe you're dating, whatever. You don't know who you are. In my 30s, I feel like, okay, I know my background. I know what I came from, how I was raised. I know my fundamentals, my values that I want. And like, to me, I think that's beautiful about going into your 30s. And it's okay if I don't have everything figured out because I don't, but I just feel more confident in myself and like what I wear. And I'm not trying to fit in anymore, you know?
So confidence.
Confidence, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
If you could go back to your 20-year-old self, what would you tell her?
Buckle up, baby. No, I honestly think she'd be like, your job? Like, you know those videos you see and they're like, oh, I'm talking to my 20-year-old self. Or like they're passing on the escalator. They'd be like, what the hell? You're so cool. Like when I was 20, I was really shy. I just didn't have good self-esteem. I was always feeling bad about my body. Like even though I was raised with great mindsets, didn't mean I like always, I internalized it differently. Where now I think she'd be like, oh my gosh, you did it. Like you have a career you love. It's not something we would expect because you used to be shy and now you're not. And like, I think she'd be proud of and think I'm cool. I would want myself to think I'm cool. Wouldn't you?
Hell yeah.
Do you think your 20-year-old self would think you're cool?
My 20-year-old self would probably pass out.
Yeah.
Just like you, I was like so shy.
Yeah.
Like, and I would have like really bad social anxiety. Like the fact that I'm sitting over here talking to you, like that's something I probably wouldn't be able to like do back then.
Yeah.
Like I would literally sweat if I had to like talk to someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Do you feel that way with public speaking though?
Oh, 100%.
Because for me still, I'm
No, for me now, I'm like so like confident speaking in front of people.
Public speaking?
Yeah, public speaking.
Dang girl.
Like back then, I used to like pray to God that like something would happen that I wouldn't have to do it, you know?
Oh yeah. I would lie. I had Spanish class and I would be like, oh, I'm on my period. I have to go home. And I would just skip the class and then present it just alone with her during her like learning period.
No way.
Because I was so scared to speak in front of people.
And now look at
us. Yeah. But when you talk to a camera, it feels easier. So when people meet me at like events, do you feel this way too? They're like, oh, you're quite reserved. I'm like, yeah, I actually am a pretty reserved person in a group setting. Introvert, extrovert.
I see. So you have a social battery.
Yeah.
You feel like?
Don't you feel like?
I have a social battery, but I feel like I'm very much extroverted. Like,
Okay.
I love talking.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love being around
But
people.
one-on-one or in groups, do you love talking?
Both.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm learning
Yeah.
something new about you.
I think so. I think I learned something new about myself.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I love that.
But then, like,
You
I'm
channel that.
very much like once the social battery's gone, like, I need to go sleep for like 3 days.
Yeah.
And then recharge and then not see anyone for 3 days and then I'm back.
Yeah. That's
you know?
fair.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's a huge thing that's changed in my 30s.
Really?
I used to be like a people pleaser, still can be, right? But also just like FOMO or like wanting to go and like stay as long at parties. Now I'm like, can we go? Like my husband, who is the introvert, has to drag me out. Like I am now a homebody.
Wait, no way.
Yeah. And I like feel really comfortable with my friends.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, I love talking to strangers. That's something I love to do.
Mhm.
But like, yeah, I just don't do it. I'm not as social anymore. And that changed when I turned 30.
Wait, that's so interesting.
Yeah, I think I started prioritizing. I was reading something about when you heal your nervous system, you like appreciate space and alone time more. And I used to not like being alone. I hated it. My parents, they were divorced and they were always working. So I was always home alone. Like nobody was ever home until like 8 p.m.
Mm.
And so I just hated that feeling. So I would always go to all my friends' homes and just stay there.
Mhm.
And then I had to learn when I turned 30 how to be alone and like enjoy my company. And now I love it. Almost too much.
Like now, I love it so much that
Yeah.
I'm not gonna come outside.
Now I just stay in my house.
No, I feel like I was like that, like in my 20s. And then I realized that I kind of like to be out and with people.
Mhm.
And then, yeah. I think a healthy balance is good.
Yeah. Plus, you're allowed to change,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Exactly.
I used to not like how introverted I was.
Mhm.
So I read that book that's like how to make friends or something.
Yeah.
It's like this old book.
Yeah.
It's like how to get people like you and make friends. I don't know. Michael gave me this book. And it like teaches you how to like have conversations at parties. And like I literally read this book and I would practice it.
No way.
And then I just like forced myself to be extroverted.
Okay.
So I feel like you can change it. Might
Yeah,
not be
I
natural
think-
though, but you could change it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you could always change if you choose to change.
Yes, I agree.
You know?
Uh-huh.
You know? I have another question for you.
Okay.
It's about getting your spark back on
Okay.
your Instagram, IG Reel. You talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to hear a little bit more about what getting your spark back means to you.
Ooh, okay. Well, ironically, it was when I turned 30.
Mhm.
And I kind of touched on it with you, but I had one day I just woke up and I just couldn't breathe. And like my nervous system had been completely dysregulated. I ignored it for a while. I was like, oh, I just have like, some chest problems. I think like how I show anxiety is through that, but just it would go away and it got stuck. And like people that have dysregulated nervous systems that are stuck, like get it. It is the hardest thing because you start battling your mind. And like I lost who I was for like 6 months. Like I literally could not go to the gym without having anxiety attacks. I couldn't get out of bed. I like finally understood what people were saying. And then I slowly accepted what was happening. And it had to do, like, it stemmed with a lot of things that happened when I was younger and just like pushing it down. And your body can only take so much until it's like, we're going to open a can of worms and we're going to deal with this because your whole life you've been in fight or flight mode. And so I ignored it for so long until it overflowed and I had to put the can of worms back in. And I started like seeking help. I started researching more, listening to podcasts, doing meditations. And I went on this like 2-month vacation with my husband. And I just the whole time worked on like self-healing things and like doing things alone. And I started therapy and like talking therapy and also somatic therapy. And I just slowly started to like understand myself more. And that's what helped me get my spark back, was being like, this is okay, this stuff happened to you and that it's coming now. And like accepting that this is something that I battle with. And it's very normal. Not a lot of people talk about it, but a lot of people struggle with anxiety, right?
Mm.
And then that's when I started like doing this challenge for the past 90 days of just like taking care of my health, trying new things every week, seeing the therapist, because it's painful to do those kinds of things, but you grow from pain and you always come out of it better, right? You can't see flowers without rain.
Mhm.
So for me, that's how I got my spark back, was like going through the rain to get the flower. But I had never had that before. So 30 was like transformative. for that.
I like that.
Yeah.
So you feel like you had to like become self-aware and then kind of like find ways and solutions to like target it in some sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
like
also
acceptance that this is happening.
Yeah. Because I was in
there's ways.
denial because I am like, I'll shove everything down.
Yeah.
And then it got so bad to where it affected my health. And I was like, oh, what do I do now? Like I can't, it felt like bricks were on my chest always. And like, I just didn't understand it, but there was nothing wrong with me. I'd go to doctors. It was just anxiety. And I just didn't want to face like why I had the anxiety. And so that's what had kind of like going through that is what got my spark back, ironically, because people think just one day you're like, I'm going to change. And I was like, no, it sucked for like 6 months. I was like MIA. Nobody really heard from me. And I just tried breathing normal again and things like that.
A lot of internal work.
Yeah. And it's still like it regresses. Like I still struggle with it, but it's better now. And I like respect myself more now and I have better tools. And like, I think everybody has to go through that in their life. Especially now, I'm so thankful I had it happen before I had kids because I can't imagine dealing with this and also juggling that. So I think it was meant to happen.
Yeah.
But that's how I got my spark back in full circle.
Oh, my sweetie.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so crazy because like anyone who meets you, like you just see like this bubbly, like optimistic woman, and then no one would have ever like known that like
Nobody knew I was dying inside.
Yeah.
I literally would think I want to scream inside, but then I'd like put on a face. But that's like what I was taught to do that when I was young.
Yeah.
Because I like saw that.
Yeah.
And so I just was like, okay, this is how you are accepted. And yeah, but I am usually a really smiling person. I like to be really happy and bubbly, but I had to be okay with like, I'm not always that. And that's healthy. People don't think it's like you have to have emotion. You have to go through things. And sometimes if you shut it off, you shut everything off and then it bubbles up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I agree with that. I feel like it's important to like feel your feelings, acknowledge them, and then like be optimistic in a way that like you could fix it.
Yes.
You know, and I
not
feel like
let
that's, you did that though.
Yeah. And also not playing victim to it.
Yeah.
Because like I think for a while I'd be like, oh, woe's me. Why is this happening to me? And I would talk to my husband and he'd be like, you can change this. Like you can work through this and you will work through it. It's just painful. And yeah, sometimes you just have to do that.
Period. You're very wise.
Yeah, thank you.
That is why you're here.
Hello, right?
I want to talk about maybe 5 habits, if you could, you know, state them, that have changed your life.
Ooh.
You did talk about a couple, and you did say how like letting people be wrong about you is like something that you started doing and that has changed your life. Let's touch base on that a little bit.
On the habits or letting people be wrong?
I want that to be the first one to talk about, and I'll let you state the rest.
Letting people be wrong? Okay. I think it goes with a lot of people can relate to they want everything to look perfect all the time, right? And so when it wasn't perfect in my life with everything that I was dealing with my mental health, I just like slowly stopped caring because I think my nervous system, my cortisol was like so tired. It was like, oh, I don't even care. Like just do whatever you want to do. And I think I like embraced it in a way. And like I also don't look myself up online. Like, do you?
No.
Yeah.
Never.
I'm like, it's
like other people's opinions about me, or it's
none of my business.
None of my business.
None of my business.
And I feel like let's just keep it that way.
Yeah. Our friend Kelty always taught me, because I used to do it. She was like, that is emotional cutting to yourself. You are harming yourself when you do that. So I just learned, and think about it. You could work at a dentist office and there could be somebody, say Suzanne, that doesn't like you. And it's none of your business that Suzanne doesn't like you. But usually she'll probably talk behind your back and you won't hear about it, right? Just our jobs, you can look it up. You can hear if Suzanne's talking about you. So I think it's ignorance is bliss in that way. And also just allowing, like, I don't share my relationship a lot online. I just don't really feel the need to. I like that it's sacred to me. And like, if people think that's weird, I'm like, let them. Like that, I read that book, Let Them, Mel Robbins, loved it. I was like, let them think whatever about you.
Yeah.
Even if you think about our jobs very different, right? And like a lot of my family members are very conventional. They thought I was so weird for what I was doing online, like sharing fitness and just like being out there, right? And like losing or leaving a like traditional job. But I was like, let them think that's weird. Let them, I mean, I live in Puerto Rico. That's very weird from where I'm from in Seattle. Let them think that's weird, you know? And you can't control what others think about you. You're the one living your life, right? And for the longest time, I'd be like, oh, I must like follow this because this is how I'm raised. And now I'm like, no, because nobody sees your day-to-day life. So you have to be who you are. And if you care to clarify things with people, awesome. But your real friends will know who you are. To me, that's all that matters.
I agree with you. What's the other habits?
Oh, okay, the habits. Walk every single day. I do this habit where I walk in the mornings at sunrise with my dog 4 mile, like this 4 mile loop. It makes me so happy. And at first I would only do it with friends like a few times a week. And I was like, oh, I love doing this, but I didn't want to do it alone. And then I just slowly was like, just do it. And now I do it every day alone. I don't mind it. It makes me so happy. I like sometimes call friends. Sometimes I just like listen to a podcast. Sometimes I'm just by myself listening, hanging out with my dog. It like makes me so happy to start my day in silence with nobody bugging me and like getting active. So that's probably like a habit that I do every single day. I stopped intermittent fasting. That was a huge thing.
Why?
It was like increasing my cortisol. And especially as a woman with our hormones during certain times of the month, it can affect it. And I was feeling so jittery. And I was like, oh, it's so normal though, because I'd done it for 5 years. And I looked into it and I talked to my doctor and she was like, you don't have to intermittent fast. Like you can eat first thing and like quiet that shakiness. And now I feel so much better. But I think in my 20s, my body could withstand a lot more. Where now she's a little more fragile, you know? She's like accepting things and feeling things. So I stopped doing intermittent fasting, which a lot of people, you know, it's a hot topic, hot goss. Some people love it, some people don't. Weightlifting 5 times a week. I used to be more inconsistent about it. And now I do it 5 times, no matter what. And I feel so much better having a routine and I feel strong. And I like doing hard things. Eating like whole foods 80% of the time. I like strictly cook at home whole foods. I'm big on like getting rid of processed foods because I used to eat more processed foods and I'd feel lethargic and like so just like weighed down and I didn't understand and my gut health was so bad. And I looked more into it and was like, oh, okay, these are the things that irritate it. Let me just switch to more whole types of ingredients and I feel so much better doing that. And then fixing my nighttime routine, like going to bed early because nothing good happens in my brain after 10 p.m. Like I could just watch TV, which is fine. I could scroll, which is horrible for my mental health. So I just was like, why not go to bed early and then have a productive morning instead of a spiraling night? I'm just not a night owl where like it works well for my brain. I like think too much into things at night.
Me too.
You too?
Yeah, that's why I started reading.
Yes.
Which really helped. And if you guys don't know, like Savannah, like literally got me into reading.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
She's an ACOTAR babe.
I'm forever grateful for you.
Fourth Wing, Crescent City.
Literally.
We got a book club.
We got a silent book club going
really
on.
do.
I want you to de-influence me as me. I feel like I'm baby. Like imagine I'm your baby, okay?
Okay.
De-influence me. Like what are some beliefs, routines, or trends women should stop following in their 20s?
Okay. Well, thinking the scale is success because a lot of the times we think, oh, when I was in college, when I was 18, I was 120. Body's not going to always be 120. So stop thinking you have to get there to equal success. That lifting will make you bulky. That was a huge thing. When I was young, I just assumed it would, even though my mom taught me how to lift weights. Like she wasn't bulky looking, but you hear about it. Like you see Legally Blonde, they make fun of it, right?
Yeah.
So you're just like inundated with it in society. That cardio isn't always the answer to everything. And I'm thinking like 20s versus 30s in a way, that there is such thing as overtraining and doing too much. And when you're younger, you think, oh, I'll just go on the elliptical for 2 hours and then I'll get my dream body. And that's so unhealthy for you. To not eat less because you think that's how you're going to get your body. It's like so harmful to your health, your hormones. Like if anything, you're just going to gain more weight. Sometimes when you do that, your body panics and holds on to the fat. I'm trying to think of like a fifth thing that would be like juicy. Maybe talking kinder to yourself, which is so cheesy, but I have to actively remind myself to not talk poorly in a mirror. Like, we watch Mean Girls when we were kids, and they like have that scene where they all pick apart something in their body and they look at Lindsay Lohan and they're like, what are you going to say about your body? And she was like, I don't know what to say. I think I would teach at least my kid to be like, hey, it's normal to feel those things, but you have to combat it because like affirmations in your mind's powerful. So you have to reiterate it. You like fake it till you make it, even if you don't believe it. I will say things all the time in the sauna. Even if I don't believe it, I'm like, I'll just keep doing it. One day it'll get there.
Powerful. And they make a difference, believe it or not. You know, like
your mind literally cannot tell the difference between what you tell it versus reality.
Yeah.
So if you think negatively about something, then you'll have this like tinted viewpoint on it.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you actively work on fixing how your brain views something if you wanted it to improve? If you think, oh, I hate lifting, I'm just not a gym girl, or I hate running. That's something I used to be like, I'm a bad runner, I hate it. And I was like, why am I saying that? Like, I've never actually tried to run. Why don't you just try it? And I just kept drilling in my head, like, no, you can run. You like to run. Now I love it.
I know. I always watch her stories and I'm like, I want to run with her, even though I can't run physically, but I would love to.
You could tell your brain.
Well, my knee's messed up right now. But
okay.
After my injury, I would love to.
Then we're gay. Yeah.
I'll become and run with you 100%. You did say something like your fitness journey isn't linear. Is there a story behind that? And why did you say this statement?
Yeah. Well, I've been posting online for like 5 years now, 6 years. And people that have followed me have seen when I like first got fit and I like when I got really lean. And then I like did bulks and then I did cuts. And like I do this thing where I do these challenges for 90 days and I just like lock in and I see where I can get it. And I love it. I think changing my body is like art for me. And I think it's really fun to be like, what can I look like? How can I get it? Like, can I see my abs again? And so I just share it all the time online. And so it's not linear because I'm not somebody that's like shredded 24/7. Like people just get to watch, oh, when she got married, she was really happy. She went on a honeymoon. She gained 20 pounds. Super normal. Or, like it's just always changing. And I always wanted people to see that because you go online and a lot of times people just always have six packs. And I'm not somebody that does that. I'm like, no, things change in my life. I'm not always going to look this way. I'm going to prioritize something else. And I want that to be normalized so they don't beat themselves up. Because I think I looked beautiful when I gained 20 pounds. It didn't bother me then. And then I said, you know what? For my health, I'm going to lock in. And I think I look great now. So it's just like it's always playing into that part of accepting who you are in the time of your life, if that makes sense.
Agreed. What would you tell someone who feels very unmotivated right now, but wants to pick themselves up and get moving and grooving towards their goal?
Ooh, I feel like you have to find your why on why you care about it. Because I will have so many girls come to me that I train that are like, well, what's the secret sauce to like forcing yourself to do it? I'm like, that's literally it. Is you force yourself. I'm such a believer in like faking it till you make it of like cosplay who you want to be. If you want to be a gym girl, get your ass in there 5 days a week. And like, if you don't want to do it, you do it. And like, say you are tired and you don't want to lift and you're on your period, just go walk at the gym and go to the sauna. At least you're training your brain. Hey, I'm going to the gym every single day. This is what we do. So when people feel unmotivated, you have to figure out why is it? Like, why are you fighting this? Why can't you get yourself to do it? And then cosplay it and just know that it's gonna suck. Like people think I want to be at the gym every day. No, I don't want to be there. Like I'm tired. I'm tired, Grandpa. I want to sit down. But I just know it'll be better for my health. So sometimes you have to like know long term what's better for you. Where we live in a society that's like, oh, I want it now. I want instant gratification right now. I'd rather watch Netflix instead of going on the Stairmaster.
Yeah,
you can do both. Go to the Stairmaster and watch Netflix.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
What would you tell someone, or how can someone create discipline when motivation fails? Because we all know the secret sauce is discipline.
Yeah.
But how can we help someone?
I mean, like, I swear you have to cosplay your life. That's how you get discipline.
Yeah.
Is you just have to be okay with like when you don't want to do it, you have to do it. And sometimes people are big, and I agree, listen to your body. Obviously, if you shouldn't lift heavy that day, don't lift heavy. But sometimes you have to override the system and be like, I'm just going to go to the gym. Even if I don't want to lift, I don't feel good, I'm just going to walk at the gym, or I'm going to go outside and I'm going to go for a walk, because you like train your brain every single time that you do that like you show up for yourself. When I was going through that whole dysregulated nervous system, I didn't trust myself. And that was the point, was like I had all this anxiety, because anxiety lives in the future. And so I would do these activities that I hated, because then I would trust I'd follow through and do them. So like I would run on a treadmill for 4 miles, and I hate running on a treadmill. And it sounds delulu. And I would like not listen to music. I would do the most hardcore thing to train myself that I wasn't gonna quit. And like I get 10 minutes in, you're like, I really want to quit. I want to do this. Like, and you just say, no, you promised yourself, and how embarrassing if you can't stick to it. And I would think like, why would I commit to meetings and work, but I can't commit to this for my own health and my own self? And so I still do it. Like, it's such a delusional thing I do, but I'm like, pick something I hate, follow through with it. And then the next time my brain's like, oh, she does it. She actually like knows what she's talking about. She's going to follow through and she'll be there. And that's how you get discipline.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love that. That's like badass.
I feel like it's delusional, but I'm like,
but it works.
It works. It
works.
Weirdly, I just remember being like, how do I trust myself again? I can't even go to a gym. I could not step foot without having an anxiety attack. I was like, okay, well, I can't lift weights. Those are making me scared, I guess. I'll try and run. And I was like, well, what do I hate doing? Running on a treadmill. Let's try it. And yeah, I mean, people think like, oh, well, how do you finish the 4 miles? I want to quit just like you want to quit. Everybody wants to quit when nobody has fun doing it at first. I don't love running all the time, but you just like trust that you're going to do it, and then you're going to have those endorphins after, and you'll be so proud.
You're going to feel so good about it.
Yeah. I think discipline is correlated to self-trust and self-respect.
Oh, 100%. And I feel like that's the secret sauce on becoming a more confident person. Because like, how are you going to become confident if you don't trust yourself?
Yeah. Like, even think about how I respect somebody so much that like walks into a room and they're like, you can tell they take care of themselves, and also they talk about a hobby that they genuinely enjoy themselves. And it doesn't have to be the gym, but like there's some discipline in that hobby, whether it's like getting good at a sport, or they do love to work out, or they love to like read and they have all this knowledge, like, or you know, they're going to school for something. That's like discipline and self-love, that they're choosing it for themselves, because you know in those moments it sucks. And like there's not a lot of people that want to do that for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like this. I feel like every single thing that you say, I'm like, I like this. I like this. This is why we're friends. How has your understanding of women's health changed as you've gotten older? From let's say in your as a 20-year-old versus like 30.
I think I like viewed it as scarcity when I was younger, in my 20s, of like I said again, I always wanted to be small and things like that. And I think it stemmed from being overweight when I was younger, to where now I think of abundance when it comes to health. Like, it's so much more than like looking smaller. And yeah, absolutely, I want to look great. Like, I'm not going to lie and tell you I don't want to focus on my physique. But also there's so much more I didn't even realize. Like, mental health, if you don't have your mental health in check and like understand who you are, you literally can't get your body to do anything. Like, I couldn't get out of bed, right? So it's like acknowledging and appreciating there's so many factors than just looking a certain way. And like also the beauty, like I said, when I'm like, I want to be a mother one day, and like I want to teach this to my kids. Like, I think about that stuff more. I mean, like, how do I want to portray this to my child?
It's like, I have to do this for my kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think my parents did a great job, but everybody, there's always things that happen and always things that you want to change. And I just now think more about it. Yeah. Stop.
You're gonna make me cry. I have another question for you.
Okay.
What do women need to know specifically about lifting, maybe hormones, recovery, or nutrition that you wish you knew earlier? Something that you probably learned just recently.
Okay. I think I recently learned, I was just telling somebody this, I are you like this where I will be an overachiever when it comes to fitness? Not necessarily other things in my life, but I can go for a 4-mile walk. I can eat healthy. I can go lift. I can do Stairmaster. I can sauna. And then I'm done. And I'm like, I can go for a 5-mile run. Because like how I release my like anxiety or like how I deal with things is being active. And so I had to learn like literally this year that like overtraining and like being overactive is more harmful for you, and you can relax. Like you can give yourself, you don't have to be productive 24/7. And I don't know why, like I still am working on that, being like, why do I feel success is with that? But there's such thing as like overtraining and like doing too much, if that makes sense.
How can overtraining be bad for us? Or in your case, how was it bad for you?
I mean, for me, I would burn out. And like, it was just so harmful for my mental health as well. Like my body would catch up and be so tired. And so now I just try to respect like being consistent and not being so perfect. Like I'm such an extremist. And so learning to like take it down a notch, to like let my body recover and respect my body again. And like, it's okay that you don't have to go run X, Y, and Z. And like, you don't have to do all these things. You are still loved and you are still worthy, even if you want to take a chill pill and just sit on Netflix, you know? And that's okay. You're allowed to do that. Yeah. I don't know. Are you like that? There's some people it's like hyperactive or not.
I mean, I feel like back, I want to say 2 years ago, I went through a really bad burnout. Remember? I like started hating the gym, hating to go work out. And it was because I used to be in the gym twice a day, like 2 hours each time. Like that's crazy. And now I'm in the gym like once a day for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think like, I feel like more people are talking about this, to be honest.
Yeah.
Overtraining isn't healthy for you. No. It's really not. Even though you're doing like something quote unquote good for you by exercising, but it's like there's a limit. There's always a limit for everything that you do. You gotta like follow it, you know?
And also if you want to sustain it.
Yeah.
Like if you get your body by doing 4 hours in the gym every day, you're not going to sustain that. So it's like, why wouldn't you figure out a way to make it balanced where you can sustain your physique or like how active you want to be in your life, right? Like a lot of times when I train people, they're like, I don't have time for the gym. I'm like, girlfriend, how much time do you have? Like we will make it work. Like that's the whole point. You don't have to be spending an hour even in the gym to be a gym girl.
Yeah.
You don't even have to go to the gym to be a gym girl. You just have to be open like to getting a mat or doing something outside and like being active. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
But people we're perfectionists. But we all come to that when we become a gym girl where we're like, oh my God, I must do everything.
Everything in my power.
And then you burn out and you're like, I hate this.
Yeah, literally. You're like, what was I thinking?
This year's the first year I genuinely like to lift. And I'm like, wow.
After so many years.
So many years.
Like, who would have thought?
I know. I mean, I even think about the last time I came to visit you. I was struggling so much with my identity, being like, do I even like to go to the gym? Do I even like to lift? And it was because I was so burnt out and so tired. And I'm like, now I like it more because I know how to take care of myself with it.
Yeah.
And like give a good balance. Before I didn't understand balance.
Yeah.
My nervous system was like, sit down. You're going to learn balance today.
Right now.
Right now.
Enough is enough.
Yeah.
I'm putting my foot down. What are some fitness myths that you've heard that you think are harmful towards women, like on social media?
Oh, I mean, fitness myths that are harmful. There's like the classic, like they think that if they lift heavy, they're going to get bulky. Like there's always like those girls that ride that they're like, oh man, Pilates will get you this tone physique. And I'm like, actually, it really depends on the person.
Yeah.
Depends on your genetics. It depends on your nutrition. Like there's just not a lot of education on like the full circle. I've been doing these series where I just like teach them what I did to get my body from A to B. And like me doing it recently, it just like makes me excited to share it because I'll just see all these opinions where they're like, no, you can't lift heavy. You have to do Pilates. Otherwise you won't get the toned physique. You'll just get crazy shoulders. I'm like, no, that's like not true at all. I think there's just a lot of misinformation on that. And even for my body, if I was to only do Pilates, no, it would not work for me. Like I have to do a mix of cardio, not only for my body, but also for my health. Like cardiovascular health is real. Heart disease is real. And also I have to like incorporate Pilates and heavy lifting, because how my body works is if I only did Pilates, I wouldn't get the results I wanted. And I also have to focus on my nutrition, and I also have to increase my protein. Like there's so many factors and people just don't talk about it. So they only hear, oh my gosh, getting bulky if I lift. And I'm like, bro, you have to eat in a crazy surplus to get bulky. Like you will not accidentally fall into getting bulky.
It's really hard to get bulky.
It's so hard to get bulky.
Literally.
Yeah. So and even like think of somebody that's really lean and they want a body recomp in a way where they're like, I really want a toned physique that Nona has. I'm like, you also, girl, gotta build muscle. That means you have to be okay with eating protein, and you might have to eat in a surplus because you can't really build a lot of muscle when you're eating in a deficit, you know, and like being okay with building muscle up. And that's like what we did, right? I've gone through like bulks so I could like cut and like maintain that muscle mass. When I first started, I was so lean because I had no muscle mass. It took years to build it. And people like don't realize that either. They think they're going to like instantly look like this. I'm like, no, this takes at least 6 months for me to like change my body a little bit.
Yeah. I agree with you. We're going to do some quick Q&As.
Rapid fire.
One supplement you actually trust?
Just like in general?
Or like one supplement that, let's say, if you could choose one supplement for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Okay. This isn't going to be, you know, like you expect gym girls to be like protein, you know, creatine, fish oil. Fish oil is so good for your brain. It helps me feel so much better. At least I think. I literally like, when I was going through with all my anxiety, I would like talk to my doctor and she'd be like, obviously we would do blood work and we'd do tests and things like that. But like taking an omega daily and like magnesium glycinate also helps regulate your mood. And I take vitamin D. So there's like 3 supplements I take.
Me too.
Like you take all 3?
Yeah.
I love that.
Not magnesium, but I take the...
Okay, get on magnesium glycinate.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It like really supports brain health. Yeah. And like regulating your mood, helps you deal with anxiety. And so I take all 3 every day. I do not miss it. Also like a women's supplement, you know, like women's health with vitamin B. Like I think I feel a lot more regulated with them. I think I was very deficient.
Oh, wow.
Because also when you deal with anxiety, it could be a hormone imbalance or it could be just an imbalance in your brain and you just don't know. Yeah.
Wow. I like that one.
Yeah, you
caught
can
me
get
by
that
surprise
anywhere.
with that. I thought
it's not going to harm you.
Yeah.
I don't think, actually.
Well, I think
I'm not a doctor.
Yeah. I mean, always consult with a professional.
Yeah. We're just two girls on the internet.
Yeah. What's one habit that you think is overrated?
One habit? Oh my gosh. Okay, we were just talking about it. I don't do a lot of like skincare routines.
We did.
I get so like tired of the 10-step skincare morning night. I think it's overrated to an extent of like overconsumption and like marketing pushed on us. Where I'm like, if you have a solid lotion that you like for your face, sunscreen that you like, maybe a retinol or a night mask, I'm happy.
I agree with you. Because like I fell victim to the 10-step skincare routine like back in a couple years ago. And now like my skin's the best it's ever looked ever in my life. And my skincare is literally either beef tallow or vitamin D oil.
Ooh. Didn't your grandma teach you beef tallow?
No. My boyfriend did.
Oh, your grandma taught you something else.
Rose water.
Yeah. I've heard the beef tallow. I need to try that.
I'll give it to you.
Slathering it on, yeah. You just put it on your face, right?
Yeah.
Okay, one of my friends just did
this. It
this.
doesn't smell like beef. Like the one that I use smells like oranges because it has like oranges in it.
Yeah. Okay. I have like a beef tallow that I put on my hands at night. And like Bentley, my dog,
licks it.
He goes insane for the smell. I'm like, there's hidden beef for sure on your face. Like he has a nose that somehow he sniffs out that beef. I'm so confused. I'm like, it's lavender. Like, how does he know?
He's like, give me the yummies.
Yeah, he's like, oh, mother, can I have a nighttime routine with you?
It's so funny. What's a gym trend you wish would end?
Oh, a gym trend that would end? Oh my gosh, like online. I think like there's like ego lifters online. This has been around for years. You know how I feel about this. Like there'll just be those girls sometimes online that like make you feel like dog shit if you aren't like lifting heavy.
Oh, yeah.
They're just like, oh, no, you must do this. Otherwise, you're not gym enough. Like, that's like what they're insinuating. They're obviously not saying that.
Yeah.
But it gives me that energy of it. And I hate it because I like try to tell people, like, you don't have to lift heavy if you don't want to. Like, you can progressive overload in other forms.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like hitting new PRs because also you could get an injury, especially if you don't have your form right. So if you're teaching all these girls that are like uneducated on form to like be these crazy lifters, they're just going to have a ton of injury and then stay away from the gym.
Yeah.
So like teach them obviously the proper way, but like there's just some ego online about lifting heavy. And I'm like, you don't have to do it. You can still have success.
You can still see progress without lifting heavy like that. Like you don't need to be pulling 350 pounds, you know? Like you could
increase your reps. You could do time under tension.
Yeah.
There's so many other factors. And I've learned as I've gotten older, I just don't care. But like I've been to like these influencer events where they're like, oh, you're only shoulder pressing 15? And I'm like, yeah, because I don't want my traps to like, I have tight traps and I don't want to hurt them. Like, I'm like, yeah, it's okay that I'm a gym girl and I don't have to max out every time.
Yeah.
That's what needs to end.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think it'll be a little bit toxic, you know?
Yeah.
What is one thing you want every woman to start doing today?
Ooh, everything that I want them to start doing today. Ooh, okay. Tapping meditation.
Oh.
Have you ever heard of this?
You actually taught me about this.
Yeah. I'm a big tapper.
Yeah.
I was just tapping today. So like if you're somebody that struggles with meditation because you find it boring, maybe you have like a ADHD brain like me, you can do something called tapping and somatic therapy. Basically your nervous system doesn't talk to you through speech, right? So you could see a therapist, it might not make you feel better. It talks through like feeling and like somatic work. And it's just a form of it. And you tap like your chakra points. And I have this app, I think it's just called Tapping Solutions. It's free. And like you tap like your karate chop, you tap like your third eye, you tap around your eyes, and like you speak affirmations. It walks you through it. And I do it every day and I feel so much better. And it could be on anything in life. Maybe you want to have a good day. Maybe you're anxious. Maybe you're sad. Maybe you're dealing with grief. You can like tap and like it resets your nervous system and like calms you. So if your eyes are watering or you yawn, that means it's working. And like, I didn't know about that until this year.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to tap tomorrow with you.
I'm down.
What season of life are you in right now?
Ooh, see, healing. I'm in my healing era.
Period.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mentally and physically.
I love that. And where can listeners connect with you?
Well, I mean, check me out. I go by Sav Wright on Instagram. Savannah Wright videos on YouTube. Sav Wright on TikTok.
Period.
And I think that's everything that I have.
And if someone wants to coach with you?
Oh, I have like a link that you can apply.
On
and I also, on my Instagram, or you go to getfitwithsav.com.
Perfect.
And yeah, I do these challenges each quarter usually. Fit Girl Fall, Winter Shred, Fit Girl Spring. And it's so fun. Like they should look into it. It's like a time we lock in together for 8 weeks. I train them one-on-one. I have a dietitian. Her name's Brenda. She's awesome. And it's so fun. And I like get to know all these new girls that follow me. And like it's more one-on-one based,
it's
but
like
also
a community.
Group. Yeah.
Yeah.
They compete. We like do prizes. We do giveaways. It's just like a fun thing that's like you can have a support group and you can also get education from somebody and it be more one-on-one. Because so many girls want it. They have like a lot of, like apps or something, but they wanted to know what worked for them and wanted that tailorization, but not personal. Yeah. And so that's how I created it.
I love it.
Yeah. So check it out.
Yeah, you guys better go check it out. And we love you.
Bye.
The content of this show is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It is not a substitute for individual medical or mental health advices and does not constitute or provide a patient-provider relationship. I'm just your bestie. I am not a licensed therapist or professional, and this podcast is not intended as a substitute for the advice of a physician or other qualified professional. As always, talk to your doctor, healthcare provider, or professional. Talk to you soon. Bye.